You wake on the shore of Hot Girl Island, and we're all hot girls making the stallion.
Planet Earth.
And now we're in Detroit now. Oh, wow. We need to revitalize the automotive industry, but we're too hot to get jobs at auto plants. They say, I don't believe you can work on cars because of what hot girls you are. And then we're like,
what? Big Mahanalongus.
I want to roll iron to see if I know enough and I'm hot enough to fix these cars.
You succeed, and as you fix the muffler, the clap of your ass cheeks alerts your enemies. Roll initiative. The goblins swarm through the window. Don't worry, Bishop. We got it from here.
Getting caught. This program is an actual play podcast containing strong language, crude humor, and depictions of violence. Content warnings can be found at the beginning of each episode description. We all want to make this show safe for our listeners, and as such, we would encourage you to contact us on Twitter at either Dice Age Podcast, all one word, or Reverend_Roscoe, with suggestions or critiques for our content warnings. Thank you, and enjoy. Listen here, young lady. You got to be careful out there in the world. Ain't safe like it is around here. You and Stan are a good pair, but there's things out there the likes of which you couldn't imagine. Hiding in the shadows, hiding in the fog. Worse than people. Much worse. You find yourself some good folk out there. You keep them close. And by the last living God, I hope to see you back here in one piece here. Hello and welcome, friends and enemies. You are listening to the Dice Age Podcast. I'm your producer, host, and guide, Bishop. You can find me on Twitter and most other places at Reverend_Roscoe. Joining us today are Emily, Pax, Emmett, and Caer. Could each one of you introduce yourselves so we can know your beautiful voices?
Hey, what's up? It is your bitch Pax. I am here again, coming through to another beautiful day, here from sunny Brooklyn, New York, here in the dark gray Ironlands. Excited to come again. Find me at Pax Lilin on Twitter and all the social media, and we're doing a bunch of stuff. Bro Taku's podcast coming back again next week. Cool stuff is happening. I love you. You're looking very good today. You all are very beautiful, and just your eyes are shiny. I can tell there's love behind there. Thank you for listening.
Hey, yo, what's up, guys? It's Emmett coming at you from in the real world, in the windy city of Chicago, Illinois, in the Ironlands, from the hills. We out here, we descended, we on the lowlands, back with all these beautiful people. You can follow me at EJWick33 if you wanted to see my personal Twitter.
Is that a come on?
Yeah, why does that feel wrong?
It's very personal.
How are you supposed to follow that up? They're on like a different plane that I have not yet like figured out how to unlock.
A plane called ketamine. Let's go.
Anyways, hey, I'm Kay, sexy little she they. Find me at Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Ooh, that was good.
And Emily.
What's up? I'm Emily. I use any pronouns. And you can find me on Twitter, but only if you follow the clues that I sent specifically to your house. That's right, your house.
Ooh.
I gotta go check my mail now.
Okay, so today we are playing Ironsworn by Sean Tompkin. The core rules for Ironsworn are available for free at ironswornrpg.com or drivethrurpg.com. As a reminder to us all, not just me, Ironsworn sets forth a set of principles for players and GMs. The players should swear iron vows and see them fulfilled or forsaken, portray heroic characters in a harsh land, begin and end every scene and action with the fiction, forge a story through conversation, share the spotlight, and as a GM, I should deliver answers or turn the questions back to the players, facilitate, not impose, and embrace chaos, which, boy, we're doing great so far. I believe if we want to do a little catch up, In the first session of gameplay, you guys showed up in a town called Negging, to find that someone had been murdered in a very gruesome way. You were asked by the leader of the town, Lestara Cortina, to investigate and use your skills to your best of your ability. You spoke with the deceased brothers to get some information on where you might start to look. You followed a trail out into the woods. You came across a caravan of older gentlemen mounted on horseback. They had with them a carriage full of spears and supplies. They resupplied you, sent you on your way with a warning that you should not be out in the woods because it's dangerous. You ended up being ambushed by the what were they called? It was the the Manhunderjur, which was the horse-like creature with large person-shaped hands and a dog's mouth instead of a horse mouth. You did very well in exterminating this creature. You then lost your way in the woods and arrived at the town Reykjavík, which is the parent town to Negging. The inhabitants of Negging were the like mid-teens to early 30s children of people in Reykjavík who left after a dispute about religious beliefs and other things. You stayed the night there. You left in the morning, and you found your way to the cave that the Hunter brothers had mentioned was discovered. You went inside. You found these small-ish creatures with broad heads, a lot of sharp teeth. One had like a pot on his head. One had a knife. One had a spoon. I think one was just naked. You gave it your best. Almost all got killed. Let's see. Caer's brother Erik was almost kidnapped. Signe received grievous injuries, but ultimately you did prevail, and you departed for the town of Negging. On the way back to Negging, you came across a clearing by a river that had a strange, I'll say a strange aura about it, where all of you noticed that your bits of iron were reacting in a strange way. All of them felt warm except for, I believe, was it Caer's? Had like a coin or something from the old world?
Yep.
Yeah, that was reacting in like in a strange manner, different than the others, than the iron that was pulled from the Ironlands. Signe had a fever dream or something of standing on a beach of black sand with four what seemed to be graves on the sand. He thought about what it meant to be in a single foreigner in a strange land, what it meant to be alone, the infinite passage of time in either direction, and he began climbing a cliff in his dream, and then he woke up. You all had treated your wounds here. Erik, who had received a minor injury, seemed to be just fine while you were here. You rested for a bit, and then you went on your way down to the, I almost said the lake of a shore. I mean the shore of a lake, where you could see where Negging was from you, made your way to Negging, arrived. Signe was delivered to the local medicine woman's hut, house, whatever you want to call it. You had noticed that the town had started constructing palisades around the village. They had like a trench dug in the front of the palisade. They're beginning to fortify now that they realize, oh, maybe we should not just let this be open. I recently watched the movie 13th Warrior with a friend of mine, and I think if you have ever seen the 13th Warrior, you know what that kind of village looks like, where it's just totally exposed on all sides, and then they have to reinforce it against some invasive enemy. They put up a bunch of spikes and dig a bunch of trenches, and it's like, oh, now you can protect it. That's what's going on. Lesson learned. The caravan that you had met the day before was there, handing out spears and weaponry from Reykjavellir. They seem to be getting along fine. There doesn't seem to be any trouble. It seems like these people genuinely care about their child town, I guess. I don't know what to call it. And I think that's where we rested. I believe Durgan, you spoke with Lestara and completed the vow, right? So everybody got to complete that vow and get their experience.
We had a cool predator handshake. We did it.
Yep. And I believe that's where we closed. If I'm missing something, please say so. But I think those are all the important things. I believe we said that like you guys are gonna hang out here for like a week at least, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
While Signe recuperates and
I have stay one
guys
week
can all-
in Negging A written down in my notes. One of the only
Yeah.
helpful notes. I
Okay.
have.
So after you return, you tell Lestara that you've dealt with the issue. Oh, I do want to point out one thing. Before you left, you guys had investigated that den and found evidence of more than just the 4 goblins. I'm just going to call them goblins, or gremlins, whatever you want to call them. There were more than 4 of them that lived there. You killed the 4 and took off. If that's going to come back and bite you in the ass, who knows? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Signe, you are being treated for an infection and a head wound, I believe, by a woman named Hilda Holgensen. The day that you arrive in Negging, after killing these creatures, an Iron Priest arrives from Reykjavellir. He is there to perform the funerary rites for the man that was murdered 2 nights prior. His name was Hagen, Hagen. He was the eldest of the 3 brothers. The 2 other brothers' names are Roar and Odger. This man, this Iron Priest, introduces himself as Endra, Endre. He wears an iron mask over his face that looks more or less featureless. It's got like the big eye slot, so you can see his eyes. You can see like a bit of his brow, and like under where his like eye sockets would be. So it's like a nice large opening. It's not like hidden slits. He speaks in a deep but gentle voice. He has a black hooded cloak over thick woolen clothes, and you can see that his fingers, like the tips of his fingers, are stained like a dark gray, almost black, from handling like iron trinkets and things. And slung across his chest is a very old looking like iron horn, like an imitation of like a like of a drinking horn, or like an antler, but it's made of iron. And when he walks around town, you can hear like the jangling of iron on his person. So you always hear him before you see him when he's walking around town. And when he arrives, he goes and speaks to Lestara first. Establishes his presence there and says, "Like, I'm here to." He's there to provide like religious and emotional support to the people who want it or need it, which is pretty much mostly Roar and Odger, even though the other people were pretty horrified about what happened. Does anybody attend the funeral rites for Hagen?
I
do.
Signe's put up in a sick house. He's probably not gonna attend.
Yeah, I'm like
Caer
out of business
Caer and
for this
Erik are
week.
definitely not going to be there.
Yeah, we stay away. Honestly, we probably Caer uses the excuse of watching Signe so that the whole town
Sure.
can be there.
Caer, when you and Erik are with Signe in the sick house, or in the medicine woman's house, whatever, I'll just call it a sick house. Hilda is like kind of giving you like sketchy looks. She comes off as distrustful of you. She sort of hovers. She like hovers around like helicopter parents would, and like is making sure that like, is just watching you a lot. It's kind of weird.
She probably experiences the same thing back.
Okay.
Same vibe. Just and he looks at me.
It's sort of like opposite corners of the room, just like staring at each other.
And he looks at me.
And I think then in the middle of the room is the perpetually kind of like moaning Signe, who has the like scent of a dying dog, like deep infection and like ammonia, just going like, I
love the idea of like establishing shot from like one corner of the room is Signe in the middle, like mumbling in a foreign language, and then opposite corners of the room are like this like woman and kid, or this like young woman and kid, and the other side is another woman just staring daggers at each other over this maybe dying person, like dead silent except for his moaning.
Honestly, Eric's
like,
probably also in the middle just doing this back and forth.
he's like rolling. Eric's in the middle rolling Signe's like knuckle bones and like playing like a one-person game and like talking to Signe, I think is what's happening. So for those who attend the funeral, it doesn't happen until like dusk, when the sun starts to set, because that's what dusk is. But it's like the golden hour is specifically what I mean. Everything's kind of washed in this like warm golden glow, and they take the remains of Hagen. I keep changing how I pronounce it, but fuck it, I don't care. They take his remains are wrapped up, tied up. He's set on like a funeral pyre in the middle of the circle in front of the giant pillar, which looks like it's narrow in one direction, it's broad in another direction, and it comes up and then points at the top. If you understand what I mean. So it's like a rectangular slab with like a point on top. If you took the Washington Monument and you like squished it in one direction, so it like splayed out, like that's what it looks like. So he's in front of that. The head of the funeral pyre is at the slab. The Iron Priest Endra begins to like perform a prayer, but also like a psalm. It sounds like this is going to sound weird. I don't know how to explain this, but this is the idea I had in my head, is that it sounds like a cross between like Tuvan throat singing and a Gregorian chant, as he like walks in a circle around this guy, and he's laying down like little pieces of iron, and he's laying down like fragrant like plants and like maybe spices and like things like that, things that smell nice. And he's laying them down in like a very orderly, very like structured fashion. And when they cremate the body, and the entire town smells like a mix of like cinnamon and pine, kind of. It's like it's actually very pleasant despite being a burning body. It smells nice. And then he speaks with the townsfolk individually as people mill about and talk about their memories of Hagen. Durgan, while you're there, the brothers Roar and Odger invite you to go with them on a hunt.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
like the next like day or two, they're gonna want to go hunting with you.
I absolutely do. I want to see if Cleo wants to come with. I think after that battle, Durgan thinks that Cleo is like an extremely strong warrior, purely based on that, because we were double teaming it. So I'm gonna like I want to go up and I want to be like, Cleo, we're going on a hunt tomorrow, and I think I could use your skills as someone who is strong with a spear.
And she has a horse.
And a horse.
Who, may I remind you, when you fought the Manhundur, did some fucking work. Stan and Cleo did work.
Stan fucking kicks ass.
Yeah.
Don't anyone forget.
With your mighty steed, Stan, we will be victorious in this hunt. I know this. I am assured in my beliefs.
Well, gosh, that sounds real nice. Thanks for thinking of me.
Excellent. Together we will bring home much bread and meat. And then I walk away completely, like, very suddenly.
And Cleo's just like left nodding like, oh yeah, it's time to shine. It's time to shine.
And I think that's all that happens on the day of your return. I think not very much exciting things happen. It's mostly people like going about their business or like reinforcing the town's defenses. Somebody starts building a gate. People are out digging around the outside of the town. I think it's like, let's see, if you got back, I'm just for our frame of reference, let's say you got back on a Sunday. Sunday night was the funeral. I think Tuesday morning, Durgan and Cleo are out hunting with the brothers Roar and Odger. And then it's not till Thursday night that something like of importance happens. A heavy mist sort of falls over the town in the early evening, and the next morning, word around town is people were hearing strange noises coming from outside town. They were hearing like whooping. They were hearing howling, bellowing, and they heard like the sounds of things being struck against trees. Do Caer and Erik spend those full 4 days with like visiting Signe?
No. Caer and Erik do that during the funeral because they know that it's a safe space to stay. As for the rest of the week, they're helping like build the gate and build the palisades and things. Physical work that always has a task to be done. That way, if certain people show up, all of a sudden they can be somewhere else.
I think maybe Erik comes back to you like on that 4th day, and he tells you that some people, he doesn't say who, some people were saying that they think it's the party's fault that weird things are happening now that you guys have shown up.
Mm.
They think that they're blaming like the weird noises last night on you guys going out and like starting trouble. He doesn't say who he heard that from specifically. You do see Endra walking around town, just generally being like a genuinely nice guy to people.
Mm-hmm.
He's checking with people. He helps out around town, like on the construction work and stuff. He takes time out of his day from like whatever it is the Iron Priests do to like sit down and talk with people and like offer condolences and help them work out their issues. The caravan has left after like the 3rd day and they don't return. I think Lestara asks Durgan and Cleo to go out into the woods with Roar and Odger and like see if they can find anything to explain what happened that night. I think
know about the
Signe
people
is
talking
starting
about us?
I'm sorry.
Do we?
Does Caer tell Durgan or anybody that people are like blaming you for?
Erik tells me. I do ask him. I definitely would have asked him who, because then I would have known to keep an eye. But when he doesn't respond, I just say, no matter what people say, don't interject. Just keep your head down and walk away. We're not trying to make a splash here. And I keep the information myself.
If we don't know, then I'm going to agree to go in.
One thing I would do is the next night, I would be patrolling around the border.
I do think, Durgan, now that you asked me that, and if I think about it, I believe Lestara would mention, like, hey, I heard some people were, like, spreading some rumors about who's you guys. She's like, to put myself and the rest of the village at ease, not that I suspect you, or blame you, I would like you to go and see if you and the 2 brothers can find anything to explain what happened so that I can put these rumors to rest.
I agree wholeheartedly. The last thing we want to do is cause any rifts within the village.
Okay. And Signe, I think by this time you're able to like get up and out of bed.
Does our week of rest alter our health, spirit, and supply stats at all?
Yeah, you should be fine. They should all be full up.
Cool.
I thought we had handled that at the end of the last session.
We might have.
I'm sorry for neglecting that if we didn't. Also, you have some experience points you can spend if you want to buy an asset or whatever.
We have 2 of those, right?
I believe you have 2 experience from fulfilling your vow.
Okay. Is an asset 1 or 2 experience?
Is an asset 1 or 2 experience? I don't remember. Asset. You may spend 3 XP to add a new asset, or 2 to upgrade an asset. So you can save it or spend it as you see fit. I seem to recall, was it Cleo that wanted to upgrade Stan for a thing?
Probably.
Or was it...
Upgrade your horse.
I don't know. But yeah, take a look at the assets you have and see if there's a thing on there you want to grab that looks good to you. If you want it, grab it. If you want to save your XP and pick up another asset later, I would just save your XP and pick it up later.
Yeah, I'm gonna
So it's 2 to upgrade?
Yes.
upgrade Stan.
Okay.
I would like to take the Mighty, so when you strike or clash at close range while mounted, add +1 and inflict +1 harm on a hit.
Yo.
Yes.
So you're gonna be like going in and then staying in, pretty much. Right? You're gonna use Stan Swift to like face danger and get through shit into somebody's face, and then Mighty to like do some work. Nice.
I'm gonna upgrade Skirmisher.
And I did just upgrade.
Nice. What, you just picked up the...
I picked. So
Bonded?
I had bonded. Once you mark a bond with your companion, add +1 when you face desolation in their presence. I picked up Shieldkin. When you clash or battle alongside your companion, or when you face danger against an attack by standing together, add +1.
So he's gonna like... Eric's gonna start like doing shit.
Because because in the last battle he actually showed up and got.
So is there a point at which are you teaching him how to do this stuff, or are you like telling him to like go hang out with Signe when Signe's up out of bed and like have Signe show you some shit, or what?
When we got in, we would have had a talk where Caer was basically like, I don't want you running in again, but if you're going to, I need to at least teach you how to fight somewhat. So come here. And just starts. Every morning they get up, they help, they eat dinner before they go to bed. Fucking grueling training. Like, I'm gonna take it easy. And he's like, but. And I'm like, fuck no, let's go, dude. And so I'm starting to actually teach him how to fight.
Okay, cool. Durgan, you had something you wanted to say?
Oh yeah, at the end of their little like hardcore training montage, you want to like slap the kid on the back and go, "Man, I'm lucky that your sibling's going easy on you. Enjoy that while it lasts."
I thought you were going to say you wanted to slap him.
I want to slap that kid. And I want
It's
to
like
be
the JoJo scene where everyone joins in one by one, kicking the shit out.
Oh Jesus, yeah. So let's see, where what was I at? What was I saying? Signe, you recover. That you don't need bed rest any longer. Like on the 4th day.
Mm-hmm.
This woman Hilda is like, she's very attentive. She's like, you have her undivided attention to the point where like it's not creepy, but maybe for a Skulda in the Ironlands, it's like, it's definitely weird.
As I wake up going, Mommy, sorry, Mommy, sorry, Mommy. In serious though, we've talked about this. So after the week of recovering and like the brain swelling has like gone down, I'm like actually treated and patched up.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. She's like, she wants to spend a lot of time with you. She's making sure that she's like making you food. She is like, you can tell that she's like smitten, right? You can tell that she's like really, she likes you, dude.
Oh, that's sweet.
Yeah,
sweet.
she's about you. And so let's see. That's that. So Cleo and Erik are training. Signe is being cared for by somebody who is really into him. And Cleo and Durgan are gonna go like in the morning, I think, is when Odgur and Roar want to go like scout around the village. Do you at this point wish to make an iron vow with Lestara or not?
What would we swear?
You tell me. I don't know. I'm probing because that's the way this game works.
Sure.
I want to make sure you remember to take the opportunity to like, oh, let's make a quest, and then so you can get experience for it. Like you're farming for experience.
We could
right?
get like make a vow to like clear our names.
Do you want to make that vow? I feel like I've been making a lot of vows.
I'm game.
That's a perfectly valid vow. I think that's a troublesome. I don't think that's dangerous. I think it's just troublesome. A troublesome quest means that when you reach a milestone, you're going to mark 3 progress instead of 2. So you only need to do like 3 milestones, and then you can complete your vow. And I would like to know if Cleo and Durgan are going out on a scouting mission with the brothers, and they're gonna swear a vow. I think what I'm gonna say is they're gonna be the ones that get the vow, unless Erik and Caer and Signe want to go with them, and then you can swear the vow. If you're not gonna accompany them on their quest, then I think you don't get to make the vow. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
So we're gonna split the party.
Woo!
Which I fucking hate. I just did it to myself. I can't believe it.
Ha, ha, ha.
Foisted by my own petard. Swear an iron vow. When you swear a vow to complete a quest, write your vow and give it a rank, which we did. Oh, you have to roll plus heart.
My heart is so strong, like Kingdom Hearts strong. So strong.
Yes.
I'm so upset.
Okay. A 5. We have a 2. We have a 6. Plus 3 is 9. So I have a strong hit.
Nice. So on a strong hit, you are emboldened, and it is clear what you must do. Take +2 a momentum.
Hell yeah.
So
Hey!
Durgan and Cleo, I looked at your name, K, in the window, and I mashed your name and your character's name together, and I got Caer. Cleo, you guys both get +2 momentum. I think you're gonna go out scouting with these 2 brothers. I think that's pretty obvious. I'm gonna come back to you in a moment.
Quick sec. Does our momentum also reset when we rest? Because I was at 6 momentum before we rested.
I think, to be fair, it's been the course of a week. I think it would.
I would agree. So now we start at 2, right? So we're at 4.
Yep. So you should be at 4. Yes.
Thank you, DM Daddy.
No. No, thanks. What's going on with Signe in this lady? Signe, what do you do with this woman who's paying you so much attention?
Well, so we talked about this, and I think I'm like, I wake up very, very confused, and as I kind of am like lucid for the first time in like a while, I guess I'm up and I go, excuse me, what is your name?
She says, my name's Hilda.
Hilda, I am sorry. Hilda, where am I right now?
Oh, you're back in Negging. You've been here all week.
What is Negging?
Negging's our circle. You were just here a couple of days ago. Do you remember? You went out with those people. When she says those people, you can hear like a little bit of like, I don't know if it's jealousy or what, but it's like, there's a little stank on it.
Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, and they brought you back, and you were so grievously injured. They said that you went out and you found a den or a cave or something with like monsters in it, and that you threw yourself valiantly at them to protect that young boy.
That wasn't a dream then. That was real.
No, that was real. As far as I know, that's what they said. But sometimes you can't always trust what people say.
It is true. And who are you? Are you my wife?
She blushes so fucking hard when you say that. She is like bright red. She's like, no. I'm just no. I'm
Who
just a
are you?
medicine woman in town. My mother trained me since I was a little girl back in Reykjavik, and I came here with everybody else when we left.
And you have been taking care of me these days.
Yes, yeah. I've been here the whole time. I'm just making sure that you're okay. Dressing your wounds, changing your sheets for you. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it, but giving you baths. Sorry.
I am far more embarrassed by that you had to do that I was in such a state from my own foolhardiness that I required such assistance from a stranger. But your generosity truly is unparalleled, Hilga. I owe you my life.
No, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. It's nothing. She's very flustered. I don't know if I'm portraying it very well, but she is very flustered. I think she like looks down at her feet for a second, and then she looks back up. She goes, I really like your tattoos. Do they mean anything?
Thank you. Yes, this is a old story from my homeland. There is a Leviathan that is said to guard the seas, and depending on the honor with which you carry yourself in your life, the Leviathan either will lead you to a glory or your doom. And so it is the reminder that fate is etched on all of us, even if not everybody can see it.
I think she kind of gives you when you say my homeland. I think she's like confused for a second. I think she's I don't. He must just mean He just must mean somewhere else in the Ironlands. But she's like, oh, so the Leviathan, like, is that because you have been brought to meet your destiny, or are you still waiting?
I do not know. I feel as if my memory is a bit of a blur. I seem to remember my friends, but they are friends as if you would meet them in a dream, faces that you are not sure are there. There was a little boy, and there were two strong women and a very a big, strong, dumb guy who joined with me in quest to kill dog-mouth horses.
I mean, I can't speak to dog-mouth horses, but that sounds a lot like your friends that you're here with. That sounds a lot like the people that got you in this trouble.
Hilga, I hate to ask. Could I lean on you for a moment? I want to try to stand.
She rushes to your side to help you stand up. Yes.
All right. So I kind of, for the first time in like a week, like put my feet under myself, and like I almost buckle for a second, but I steady myself and kind of get my balance back. The world is still like spinning a little bit, and as I feel on the side of my head, there's still like a sharp pain from the wound, but I can tell it's been dressed properly. And I go, your mother, where did she gain wisdom like this? I smelled like a anus of a goat that had been shot in face. How did you remedy me so well? The reason why it's shot in face is relevant is because of the excavation that happens when a death happens is part of the reason. I sense confusion about my.
She's yes. She's like, that's very specific. This is very She's like, you did smell bad. Yes, yeah, it wasn't great. She said, my whole family, I've come from a line of medicine women and healers. I know that's a gendered word to use. I'm trying to get away from it right now.
It is okay. Everybody, we're all dealing with same things, Hilga. We're all trying to find our own path. I understand. It's
she's
very...
So when she picks you up, she smells lovely. She smells like lavender, I think. Like, it's very pleasant. And a person smelling like lavender is out of place.
Yeah.
She had to have
What?
put effort in to like make herself smell nice.
Your odor. What happened? Did you murder a flower stand seller? You have the odor of wildflowers.
She was, yeah, I mean, sometimes it's nice just to smell nice, And she's okay. She's embarrassed. She's like, oh shit, like I've gone too far. I've gone too far. Abort.
No, and I ring her back and I go, and I've never thought of that before, but I guess it is nice to smell nice. You do smell, in a way, better than a anus of goat.
Than an anus of a goat that was shot in the
Did the face
a little bit better. Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Ilga, do you know where my compatriots are? I have questions I wish to ask them about things. I will return to you later. I still owe you a great debt. I will see what wares I have to pay you with, but I need to talk with my friends first.
She tells you that that Caer and Erik were here a few days ago to check up on you. She doesn't know where they are right now, but she tells you where they're staying, and she tells you that Durgan and Cleo are going out with those two brothers, and that they're probably departing already.
It's a double date.
She says she makes the offer.
We're getting with these brothers.
She makes the offer that if you want to come back later, she can show you how to make like the lavender scented like perfume.
That might be a great asset in our future travails in case I need to disguise myself as a trickster prince of some sort, a fancy lad who loves berries and cream.
You gotta get off TikTok, son.
I'm sorry. You can tell my brain's bad. But before I go, I kind of reach around my neck where I keep a bound cord of rope that's been tied, and I am going to give it to her. I'm going to kind of take it off of myself, and I'm going to put it around her neck and say, this was a cord of rope from my mother Runa's sheep. I promised to carry it for all my life, but if it were not for you, I would not have a life with which to carry it. And so, although I do not have gold and coin on my person now, I hope that this in spirit can help to pay you before I can pay you back in the way which you deserve.
She is honestly speechless. She's like, she looks at it and she like barely gets out a thank you, and she walks you over to the door, and she wishes you good luck and she hopes to see you again later. And as you walk away, if you turn around to look back, she is like in the doorway, like holding the door frame, like looking at you.
I don't look back at all.
The camera sees it, but you don't. The camera sees it, but you don't.
Exactly. And I guess I'm off to wander to find my friends.
Okay. We're gonna switch back over to Cleo and Durgan for a second, and then I'm gonna touch base with Caer and Erik and see what they're doing, and maybe throw some shit at them. So what are you guys doing? You guys go out. Cleo, are you riding on Stan?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. As you guys do like I would think the brothers want to start like do like a quick perimeter just of like the outside of the palisade just to see what if they find anything. Mm-hmm. Stan is a little upset. Stan is acting a little funny. He's like he seems skittish, hyper alert, and very like trepidatious. Yes, that's the good. Yes.
Durgan
what do
says
you
that.
do?
Oh man. So first, that makes it difficult to ride. Sometimes, depending on like, if he's like,
it's slow. It's slow.
Okay.
It's not difficult. It's slow.
It's slow.
It's not like
he is cautious. His ears are up.
Yes.
He's looking.
There's something. There's either something on the wind or in the air that's just he does not like being outside the circle.
Sorry.
Right now. There is, just so you guys know, I think maybe I said this before, but there is a little bit of like a clearing around the town between like where the circle is and the tree line. There is some room in there that's like flat, open area. So it's not like you walk out and you're in the woods already. There's like probably 100 yards around the village that's cleared out.
Well, I definitely have to tell Durgan. I gotta.
Mm-hmm.
Durgan, I think Stan is sensing a little problem we might have. He's rather tense today.
Well, we must heed the great warrior Stan. His instincts have led us into great victory before. Stan, what make of you of this clearing?
Stan's probably like,
Yeah, that's. I was gonna try to do that, and I'm glad you did it because it was much better than I would have done.
I got this horse girl shit on lock. Don't worry. I've been practicing all my life.
So yeah, what are you guys doing while you're out here? Like,
Can I attempt to see if there's any tracks, anything that's been like around, like see if there's anything that's been stalking at night? What do I roll?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that sounds like you are gonna make a gather information roll,
Fuck yeah.
which is good. When you search an area, ask questions, conduct an investigation, or follow a track, roll plus wits.
Oh fuck. Okay.
Hold on. If you act within a community or ask questions of a person with which you have a bond, add +1. So, I have a question. I believe at the end of last session, when you fulfilled your vow with Lestara, you forged a bond. Is this correct?
That is. Wait, I thought I forged a bond. Cleo forged a bond with Lestara, right?
I thought somebody forged a bond with somebody, either the town or with the with Lestara. If you forged a bond with the town, you get a +1. Now that you've completed a quest for them, so I think you completed a quest. You made sacrifices for their cause, right? You went out.
Okay.
You got into trouble. Signe got hurt. You all kind of got fucked up. I think you qualify to forge a bond with the community if you so desire. I want to say,
yeah.
I think this is going to be individual. If you want to forge a bond with the community, like, I don't think it seems to me like Caer and Erik probably aren't interested in forging a bond with the community because like they seem to be the types that'll dip out if in a heartbeat if they need to. But that's me just like how I feel. If you disagree, Emily, then by 100%.
At the moment, yes.
Okay. So if that ever changes, yeah, then you can forge a bond then. But I think like Durgan seems like he's all in. Durgan's like hanging out with 100 guys. He's like, this place is fucking chill. Cleo, yeah, this place is cool as hell. Signe, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't want to forge a bond because he's here to murder everybody. Like, I think this is an individual basis thing. If you wish to forge a bond, go ahead and make the roll. If you don't want to forge a bond with the community, don't make the roll.
I got a 1 and a 5 on these die, so I think I'm gonna try and make this roll. And I'm gonna see if I can't add this heart to it. What happens if the D6 matches?
It's a fail.
Shit. Okay, I got a half success then.
On a weak hit, they ask something of you first. Envision what it is. Ask, do it, and mark the bond. I'm going to give you this. I think because I should have had you do this before. I think what they're going to ask you is to like spend time providing for the community over the course of the week. That it's just fulfilled, right?
That's this then, right?
That's on the weak hit. They ask something more of you, and I think that's just going to be covered by the week that you're here.
Great.
Envision what it is and do it, or swear an iron vow and mark the bond. Just mark the bond.
Marking the bond.
Cleo, I think it's the same thing for you. If you want to forge a bond, do the same thing. Roll plus heart.
Town. Negging.
oh shit. That's an 8, a 2, and a 1 plus 3 is 4. So I feel like I'm.
So you've got a weak hit.
I feel like I'm in the same place as Durgan.
Cleo makes
Yeah, I
bond
think
with
we-
the circle's horses.
Yeah, all of the traveling horses. That's where I'm at.
I mean, this counts. That's the community. I think if you spend a lot of your time at the stables, I think that qualifies. If you like helping care for the horses, no pun intended, care. I definitely think you can take that. You just get the bond. If that had been a strong hit, you'd also get like momentum or whatever, but you just get the bond.
Okay.
So you're gonna mark.
Horses and negging.
More like neighing, am I right?
You're fired. You have a bond with the community. You're investigating around the community. You get a +1 on your gather information. So, whoever's, I think if Cleo's mounted on horseback, Durgan's like down on foot with the brothers, looking for stuff. I think Durgan's gonna make the gather information roll, if that's okay.
That is fine. That is fine.
Okay, so you're gonna add your wits and you're gonna add +1 to your d6.
That's a 2. That's gonna add a 2 to that. So first roll, first d10 is a 3. That's pretty nice. And a 3, a 3 to 3. It's pretty cool. Rolling this d6 up. I got a 3 on the d6. +2, 3's all around. That's 5. So something happens, right? It's a twist.
Yeah. So we get a plot twist, or we get like a surprise or like something like that because you got matching d10s. You have a strong hit. So on a strong hit, you discover something helpful and specific. The path you must follow or action you must take to make progress is made clear. Envision what you learn and take +2 momentum. So first things first, take your 2 momentum.
Just Durgan or both of us?
Durgan, because he did the investigate. Mark some progress because I think this is a milestone. And I think what you find is they look like a plantigrade footprints, like a person. It's like a full foot instead of like on the balls of the feet. It's the full foot. They are very large. They're like probably if you put your hands together like that wide. I know everybody's hands are just different sizes. I get that. I'm just saying like they're big, right? They're like probably 8 inches wide or whatever. If you had a foot that's 8 inches wide, and you can see there's 5 digits, 5 toes, but the big toe is sort of like, you know how your feet are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. Take that big toe and like scooch it over a little bit. You know, it's sort of separate from the other 4 toes.
Like Beast from X-Men.
Emily was giving me a look like I'm crazy and confused.
Oh no, the word I just said was
I failed to realize.
why.
I failed to realize I'm explaining it correctly. She's confused about why. Okay, I'm like over-explaining because I think I'm doing something wrong.
It was at first
like, no, I'm
I
doing
was
something
confused
very
about the
right.
thing, but then I got it, and my question was why, Bishop? Why?
Okay.
This is like Bigfoot.
So you find tracks like that, and you see where like it's walking sort of like at a distance from the palisade, and at certain points the tracks approach up to the wall, and where it approaches the wall you can see like the palisade has been scraped by something. It looks like something like with like rubbing up and down on the palisade. And then the footprints walk away, and it circles around a little bit until another point, and then it goes back up, and you can see where there's rubbings. They are not evenly spaced. They are what appear to be random from here, and it's around the whole outside of like the circle. Yeah.
So
Caer? Or, I'm sorry. God damn it! I keep doing
It's
that.
okay.
Cleo.
So if I like ride Stan to these like tracks and he like smells whatever was there, like is he like reluctant to go, or can I like push him forward?
You can. He will ride alongside them, but he will not get close to them.
Okay.
So if you try to like walk over or cross over the trail, he won't do it. But you can get him to walk like in parallel with it.
So not a horse friend. Okay.
How big is this thing's gait, do you think?
Not terribly long. If you made me a giant person, it'd have like my stride.
Okay. All right. I'm here for it.
So I think that's probably what you find out there after that.
It seems like they're investigating for weaknesses in the wall.
Could be.
Could be. Okay.
That's a possible explanation. It could be.
We don't know if they're smart enough to be doing that. Maybe they're just interested in the thing because this is a new structure, right?
Also could be.
Okay. Oh, I hate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's not made of iron, is it? The structure? It's made of wood.
No. This is all like wood. These are all wooden structures. The iron is like not would not be wasted, quote unquote, would not be wasted on this. That would be saved for like important things, like spear tips and arrowheads and like the religious trinkets for the Iron Priest. Like those were iron.
I want to turn to Cleo and I want to go, do you think they're trying to like the same thing that those gobs were doing? They're trying to find more iron implements?
I feel like there would have been another body by now if that were the case.
I'm thinking the exact same thing.
Okay, so I'm gather information. So you have something helpful and specific. I need to give you a path forward, a path or action you can take in order to make progress. You can see where the footprints come out of the tree line.
Oh shit!
You can see where it comes out of the trees. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at Cleo, kind of like, are we going into the woods to see this?
Press on, Durgan.
All right, then. With me, Stan the man, and I head in.
So we're gonna go back to Caer and Erik, who are training. Or are you training now? Are you like in the middle of it?
What time of day is it?
Let's see. The others left town like early morning. It's probably like mid-morning, maybe.
We would be helping with the construction of the palisade right now.
You do see Endra like you okay. No, you don't see him. You hear him like walking out of sight of you. You hear him like pass by up above wherever you're working on the palisades, you said?
Yeah.
So you hear him like walk by and just like saying hi to people, being like hi. Erik kind of gives you like a side eye, and you think he sees you tense up and gets like a nervous look, and then you hear the jingling like do go away, it's fine. And then Signe comes up to you. Signe finds you working on the palisade.
I feel like we're like digging the trench, and so we're like below. So like he's like walking by, and we're like below, so we're able to just keep our heads pointed down.
Oh, it's that scene from Lord of the Rings. You hear him go by. Go.
Centipedes crawl out of everywhere.
Signe, what you see Erik and Caer digging a ditch.
All right, I kind of like lean on over. How much of a slide is it to get down?
It's not bad. It's not bad at all.
It seems like they're busy. I don't know if this is the right time to kind of broach the subject. I think I will come down. Is there like a free shovel down there?
Sure. Yeah. If you want to shovel, you can help.
So I'll slide down and get my butt all muddy as I slide down into the pit, and I will pick up a shovel and kind of nod to them, and I shall start a digging.
So you said you slide down and get your butt all muddy. My brain.
It's like what, me shitting myself?
No, my brain spoonerismed it and said, "Yeah, I heard you say I get my mutt all buddy."
Yeah.
I know that's not what you said. I was just very confused for a second. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I just thought you should know.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, I slide down and I'll just start kind of like silently shoveling. This is like an awkward situation for me, so I don't really know what to do.
I don't.
Oh, it's awkward for you. Maybe Erik says, "Oh, hi, Signe," and he comes over and he starts like digging next to you.
Yeah. I sort of just like look, and then keep digging, and it's not quite as laborious because I start talking, so I'm not working quite as hard. I see you've finally woken yourself up.
Yes. Everything is okay. And we're here shoveling to make... What are we making?
After what happened to the hunter, they're trying to add defenses.
Great. What hunter? What happened to a hunter?
The body we well, can't even really qualify it as a body. It was more like lasagna with teeth. Canon. But we arrived. We found a body. It was absolutely destroyed. We killed some shit. We almost died. You definitely almost died, and then we came back.
Right, I remember that. It was crazy how that happened. Your name, by the way, is escaping me.
She.
I remember it. I just don't remember how to pronounce it. Is the thing I forgot. How do you pronounce?
Up and like let some more hair fall in my face, and if based on the angle you probably wouldn't be able to see, but maybe the camera sees that like her eyes are like searching as she's trying to figure out how to respond. And I say,
yeah, and seeing you tense up, I go, nah, I got you. I remember your name, buddy. It's all good. I'm going to go back to work.
Caer, and that's Erik.
I care about you too. Thank you.
Just start shoveling. I feel like we shovel for a while. Can we say that just like passes in silence, and then
Yeah,
as like people stop work to get a break, maybe that would be the next time you would have conversation, unless the GM decides something happens in the meantime.
Maybe like an hour later, it's about like midday.
Mhm.
You hear this low, like bellowing horn call from the center of the town, and most of the people keep digging, like they don't pay any attention. But a few people stop and they like put their shovels up at the top of the thing and they start headed toward the center of town.
Is this a regular occurrence?
Yes, over the past week, yes, this has happened every day at noon.
Would I know what this is?
You do. Signe doesn't.
Right.
I don't think.
Cover
You
yours.
know that this is the horn of the Iron Priest, calling parishioners to come to prayer.
I do not go.
These horns were what the original magicians that became Iron Priests used when they in the crossing of the Great Sea there. That's what they used to like communicate and keep track of each other when they got like lost in the fog.
Would this then signify that Endra is a fairly high status person within the religion?
He's not like Iron Priest Pope, but he's like,
He's like a cardinal.
Iron Pope.
it's like a Warhammer character.
he's the leader at least of the Iron Priests in Reykjavik. He's like the head priest, which I think says something to your character and Erik.
Mm-hmm.
At least that you would know, like, oh wow, if they sent their head priest to perform the funerary rites, like they probably actually genuinely give a shit about these people and want to help support them, even though these people are like not, I don't want to say deserters because that has like implications to it, but they left and like, okay, no, we want to help them out. Like
Right.
we care about, they're still our kids, right? Even if they're
Right.
being rebellious. So.
At the sound of the horn, Caer does not react, just keeps digging, but Erik does instinctively like stop and then look up, sort of like look at Caer to see what to do, and then go.
Can I
Yeah.
Can I do a thing
Yeah.
as GM? We spoke during character creation that Erik is kissed by the earth.
Yes.
And we said that people who are kissed by the earth sometimes exhibit
They have visual
features that
signifiers.
might visual signifiers that might indicate that they're kissed by the earth. I don't recall if we established there was one feature that was always exhibited.
I think it was various.
But did we say that Erik has certain colored eyes?
I can't remember if we did, but that was what I was thinking.
I think typically Erik has very bright, very pale blue eyes. Typically, right? They're very like a blue marble.
Mm-hmm.
When this horn is blown, and he looks at you, you see that they have changed to a shade of gray, like a light gray. They, like somebody turned the saturation down on his eyes. That's what happens with him. You get tense, Signe. I think you just hear this really like this low bellowing horn. Man, these people all like a bunch of people get up and walk away towards town, or towards the center of town.
Interesting that some of them don't.
As far as you can tell, it's just random people decide to. I guess I'll go to a service.
Okay.
Do
Ease
you
and ease.
do you or Signe, to either of you, like interrogate the matter at all?
I think I just say, is that the lunch a bell for?
If only.
Is...
That's the call signifying that service is about to start.
Ah, yes. What service?
The Church of the Iron Priests.
Ah, those guys that I know about. Yes. I have something important to ask you. Can I, it might be strange to ask, but is matter of clarification I think I could use some help on, friend.
All right.
I kind of like lean in and I side glance towards Erik and I point to Erik and I go, is that our child?
I think Caer just stares at you for like a solid like 10 seconds. Just like, hey Foreman, I'm taking a break.
All right.
And I'm like, come with me, Erik.
All right.
And we go.
Come, boy. We're gonna climb out of the pit.
I think I lead us over to like a tree or something where we can like stop and take a break and eat something, drink some water. I'm like, all right. You've lost your memory, haven't you?
No, not at all. I'm just trying to make sense of what I do recall. During the last few weeks, have I?
No, I have all of my memory. But the things I don't.
Making sense of this stuff. Yeah.
But you tell me what my memories are, so I know that you know.
Yeah. I just want to
During
make
the-
sure that you have all your memory. You tell me what.
Now, you are not my wife, right?
No, I don't even think I'm. How old are you?
Enough. Anyway. Anyway, I do wonder how many years have we known each other? Is recent?
We've known each other for maybe a few weeks at most.
Oh, thank God! I was getting so worried. Dude, if it was years,
It's when he makes
thought-
this big noise, Caer is immediately like, "Ah, fuck, are people looking?" And is like immediately like the there's kind of this like body language that she has where she like lets her hair fall in front of her face and sort of tries to look as unassuming as possible. And as soon as she starts screaming, she's like, "Yikes!" And Eric's like, "Fuck."
It is okay. This is not my son.
No, he's not my son either.
That's good. That is good. We still have a lot of life left to live. I was good. I thought I lost years. I thought I might have lost years.
So you did lose your memory.
Not at all. Not at all. I remember with perfect clarity everything that happened. I just could use context. During the past few weeks,
I remember everything, just not anything around that.
Have I? Would you say at all behaved irrationally or a bit too much pepper in my behavior?
By what standards?
You know, like in comparison to like a cool normal guy that I am.
And I think this is like the first. You probably don't remember, but this is the first like actual like hearty laugh you get out of Caer. By normal standards, yes, I would have said you were behaving extremely irrationally, but I kind of just thought that was how you were. Is that not how you normally are?
Uh,
Like, Signe before wouldn't have even known the word context existed.
oh, Signe is my name.
Shite.
No, that one I'm just fucking with you. That one I'm just I know that I am Signe. Signe.
What's your last
yes,
name?
Runesan.
Okay.
Yes. What is your last name?
I don't have one.
Okay, let me see your head. I need to see if you have maintained similar wound that I have. Give me your hair. As I'm just kind of like looking inside.
No, I'm fine. I don't have a
Okay.
last name.
Okay. Keep your secrets. And our friends, are they real as well? The centaur girl and the man who hunts the walking walrus.
It's God.
I sneeze wherever I am. Looking at.
God. Emily corpses so much for playing a character who would not ever. Well, yes, there's Cleo. She's not a centaur, though. She's just a girl with a horse girl, if you will.
Okay, if that's how they prefer to be called.
No. Like she has human legs, and the horse is Stan. It's a separate entity. This accent is going everywhere.
All right.
And the other one, Durgan, of the hills.
My brother.
In insanity, probably. But no, none of us are related. Well, Erik and I are related, but the rest of us are not related.
You are not my daughter as well, right?
As far as I know, you have no children. Also, it's very concerning that you went from wife to daughter in such a short amount of time.
That's why I was so concerned about it. I was just very, worried.
From?
I am a part of the school there.
Do you say that at regular voice?
I know well enough to like drop my voice.
And we're a decent ways away.
Okay.
I took this away to a tree. Like I
just wanted to make sure.
I think this might be my first time hearing this. I'm sorry, I think I just hallucinated. What?
I am a part of the people known as the school there. We are a farming people of sort. We perform adventures on high seas. Many years ago in battle, people were chased to this island. And in that same spirit, I give chase to them.
That puts a lot of things into context.
Is that not? Why not? We've not talked about this.
Like I've said, you've been behaving very irrationally. But, this makes sense. Okay.
I have the ink and the traditional scarring of the skull there. My ancestral markings are here. Is this not a? You don't understand what these are?
Most people here, except for the elders, have never seen a skolda.
Well, that is because of the fucking wizard who keeps making the seas kill us.
You know what? I'm just gonna gloss over that one. Wait, so you're here to give chase?
It is complicated. I had my own reasons for coming here. This was in very real way, the island that is responsible for taking the life of my mother. And
in that vein, I may have repeated her mistakes in seeking to fight a war which ended long ago. And I now find myself alone here, no sign of others.
I'm sorry for your loss.
So, I appreciate that. Have you seen a tricksy wizard who manipulates the clouds and tides?
No.
All right.
I'm going to be real with you. I don't think such a thing exists, personally.
You don't think that magic exists? That forces and the spirits exist?
I know magic exists, but it exists in the land, and that which comes from it, not in the skies.
It exists in people too. There is magic in the blood.
Yes. Did you come here by yourself?
No. I was in charge of a full sheep of brave people. We thought that we could brave the seas, but for generations now, this island and its people have been inaccessible to us, to any, as far as we know. But we are simple people in our beliefs. We believe in living a simple and virtuous life. And we just, well, I guess when I say my people, I should just say me, because I'm the only one here. So where are the horse woman and the danger man?
I'm actually not sure. I think maybe they went out hunting for something. I don't know. There's been some talk about town of us being the reason for some weird shit that's been happening.
Right. I'm very glad you're putting me on straight and narrow about this weird shit. For some reason, in my nightmares, the dark roiling seas of my subconscious as I was sleeping, I imagined that we came across a horse with the mouth of a dog and the hands of a man. Absolutely.
Oh, the Manhunter here?
deranged thing. But the what?
The Manhunter here?
What are you saying?
That's a horse with the mouth of a dog and the hands of a man.
A fake.
No, a very
thing,
real
yes.
that we fought and killed.
It was real.
God damn it. Why are you so bad at me? Unfortunately, yeah. There's some fucked up shit that's out there apparently.
Fuck.
I like
Nice.
hand him his piece of paper that has like 1 down for what he's killed.
And I scream fuck at the top of my lungs as I like bring my hands around this tree and I like scrape bark off the sides and this like rageful every muscle in my body racked, like blood on my fingers. And I'm like, fuck. Yes,
I'm like I'm like physically trying to stop him because he's like just been healed. We do not need him injured again. And I'm like,
as I look at the paper and I go, how many? We got 1. Do we know how many more there are?
Jesus fucking Christ, I don't know.
Fuck, we don't even have their numbers.
Erik just starts laughing.
Little man, I used to laugh too before I saw face of dog, horse, hand, mouth man.
He just doubles over. He was there too.
This young man survived the onslaught of the mouth-faced dog creature.
Yeah, believe me, I'm as shocked as you are. Some people don't know how to stay put.
You are very brave, young man, to have gone face to face with Satan's own living anus and to have come across the other side, young man. Is he still laughing? He's just laughing?
I think he calms down at that point. A little bit of like tears streaming down his face, just of like the first moment of levity this poor kid has had in a while.
All right. He's watching an adult lose their mind.
It was like, we don't even have their numbers, and at this point he's like, what is my life? Life is so fucking weird. Like, if I don't relieve tension, I'll go insane.
Relatable.
He's like, thank you. You're the brave one, though. You saved my life.
That was real as well.
Yeah.
Did I have my cock out?
Yeah.
I am so sorry, young man. I remember fighting naked like the savage hinterlands folk. This is very inappropriate. I am so sorry.
Yeah, that one was a lot. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I promise from this point forward to keep things age appropriate around you, young man. Because the world will not make the same promise, so I will try to be respectful to your small stature.
I'm not that small.
You're not. You are. How old are you?
It's a good question that I've already forgotten. Hold on.
I think he's like 13.
Yeah, it was somewhere around there. Yes, he's 13.
Whoa, you are huge! When you come to be my age, you will be size of that tree, certainly. Large kid.
He like blushes and like kicks the dirt.
Going to be very mighty. And on the subject of might, what is your friend's name here? As I'm crouched down to him and I'm pointing at you.
Me?
Yeah.
That's my sister, Caer.
Oh, Caer is the name.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, your parents were smooth, groovy people. Naming
spelled like Caer, like a fortress.
Oh, never mind. They were cool, normal guys like me. Skilga, Signe, like me. I'm getting my bearings. Where are our friends? Why don't we all come together and feast and drink and celebrate life?
It's a good question. I walk over to the foreman and I'm like, we're taking off for the rest of the day.
Hard cut to Cleo and Durgan being mauled by a
Oh my god, what is her name? No, the person on squad, Levi, who just gets fucking destroyed.
Oh my god!
Up against the tree.
Yeah. Oh.
No, that's not what happens. But we do hard cut. We're taking the rest of the day off. Hard cut. So Cleo and Durgan.
Hello.
You are in the woods. I think this is about the time that Durgan or Signe was headed towards Caer and Erik. Boy, my brain. You follow the trail into the woods, which is your path being clear, part of your gather information. What do you do when you get to the woods? I think you see more of these rubbings on trees, in the same way that there were like scrapings on the palisade.
On a bunch of trees? Any specific? Are these trees specific in any way? Is there anything weird about them?
No, not particularly.
And they're in like random locations. It's not like every.
They seem to be, yeah, yep.
All right, I want to keep on this path. See if I can't get any closer.
I think as you go through, you do see there's like branches and stuff that are broken along the path, and you can see where like something was being struck against these trees as well. You can see like some of these trees have like that rubbing on the bark, and some of them have like just like impacts in them where like the bark is like crushed in and like splintered. And as you look at like the branches, you can see like probably 10 feet high is like the highest branches that have been broken. You can see something like something must have come through here and it's huge and just didn't give a shit about a lot of these branches and stuff and would break them, and they would like break off. And you can see like littered limbs, like tree limbs all over the place, not people limbs.
I only know of one creature that's tall enough to do this.
Would you like to inspect the rubbings closer if that's the thought you have?
Yeah. Yeah, you know, I think I will.
Okay. Give me a gather information. Give me a gather.
Do I get the +1 with the help from the village or no?
No, you have left the vicinity of the village. You are in the woods.
Got 3. Dude, 3 and 3 again. We got 3 and 3 again. Come on, 3s. So that is going to be a 2. A 2. So I'm going to get nothing for that.
You don't get nothing, but what you do get ain't good. On a miss, your investigation unearths a dire threat or reveals an unwelcome truth that undermines your quest. I think if it's going to undermine your quest, I think you're investigating these tree rubbings. You can't tell what made them. And eventually you get to a point where the trail disappears. You lose the trail because you're paying so much attention to these rubbings that you lose where the footpath or the footprints have gone. And by the time when you double back to go look to pick up the trail, you've had 2 other people on foot and somebody riding a horse following behind you, fucking up the trail, and you can't pick it up again.
Fuck. Trail goes cold, gang.
It's a mighty big pickle we got ourselves in here, Durgan.
At least 10 foot tall.
Durgan, we turned ourselves into a pickle. Sorry.
I know this is to avoid therapy, guys.
Oh, jeez, Cleo.
That's Stan's voice, canon.
Yeah.
Oh, Stan has been very upset this whole time, by the way. Going through the forest, he's very, very upset.
I want to say that Stan probably stands, also walks close to Durgan, too, because he recognized Durgan as part of the herd.
Yes.
Does this make me a horse as well? Does this mean I'm in with the horses?
You're in with the horses.
Durgan
You're a safe horse other.
Oh, yeah! I'm a horse ally. Fuck yeah! The trail goes cold. It's just dire. Do the 2 boys, do they notice anything? Are they doing anything here?
I mean, they're like young men. They're not like boys. They're probably mid-20s.
Gotcha. There are boys. They're
your boys.
we're
Yes,
boys. Yeah.
they are your boys, but they are not boys. They're
Heard.
boys with a
Gotcha.
Z, not an S.
I'm in it.
No, I think they're pretty much following your lead. You seem to know what the hell you're doing, and given your exploits over the past week, in the past week, they're definitely deferring to your judgment and your skill set. I think if you tell them the trail goes cold, they tell you that they would like to head back to town because they're nervous about being deep in the woods and being exposed to some danger. They're very nervous.
I want to tell them I want to be like, all right, you guys go back. We'll catch up with you.
You just tell them to go back by themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. They don't like it. They do try to convince you to take them back, but if you're not gonna go, then they will leave on their own.
What time is it now? Do we still have daylight, or is it getting dark?
Yeah, I
Is
think
it-
this is about like you've spent the time when we cut away from you to Signe and Cleo, or not Cleo, God damn it, Caer. That time has elapsed. It's probably like midday where you're at now. You probably have like 4 or 5 hours of sunlight left.
How far have we traveled in these woods? Like, is it a long journey for them to get back on their own?
Maybe like you spent like an hour or two tracking into the woods. If they're going back on their own, like directly without having to like try to make an effort to keep track of where they're going because they're not tracking, they're just heading back. Maybe an hour.
What about on horseback?
They're not on horseback,
What if they were though?
but they're not. But I mean, if I guess maybe less than that, 45 or a half hour.
I'm thinking like if we get back, if I hop on Stan, would it take us like shorter to get back?
They're still not on horseback though.
No, us though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But not by much, so I don't know if it's that much of a difference.
I mean, yeah, you still have to navigate the forest. You can't like sprint back on horseback because you don't really have a good like. You're not in an open field. You can't just sprint across it. You have to like navigate through trees and shit like that. You know. It wouldn't be hard to follow the trail back because you can just follow the markings and like the stuff that you've already established.
I'll say this. I'll say we'll go back with them. We'll escort them back. I do need a moment with Cleo though.
Okay.
I do need that.
Like separate from them.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I want to go up to Cleo and I want to go, all right, I think that we can't go any further. But I think we should leave our trail into town intact.
Yeah, I reckon that's a good idea. I feel like we'll go with your plan. You seem to be the best hunter out of all of us.
Durgan tears up a little bit. Durgan really does. Like, he's not gonna let anyone see it though. He's gonna pull his like thing down a little bit. He's like, thanks, appreciate that. Durgan's dad never told him that. That's a big thing for him. But I will say, I'm like, all right. I think what's best is if we can leave a trail back and see if we can't sucker them into coming back, form an ambush at night. We can at least see what this thing is with some reinforcements.
It might be a good idea to tell the others, considering
I would definitely tell the others.
the gossip is spread.
With this, we can't make the town trust us. But I think that if this does yield some fruit, we might be able to get back in on that.
I think it might take the head of whatever beast this is for them to trust us, but I think you're right.
I think we can arrange to get that head between the two of us at least, and between the four of us probably.
Oh, for certain.
Have I ever seen a horse in my time, like back in the hills? This is the first time I've seen a horse.
I mean, did you live in the hills all your life until you left and then met the party?
Yeah.
Maybe you've seen like oxen pulling like stuff through the hills, like caravans and stuff, but I don't know if you've ever seen like a horse.
Okay.
Because like where you grew up, that all that stuff is to the north of us, and the havens, which are a little ways south of us, that's where all the horses are going to be at. So nah, I don't think you've seen people with like horses. I think it's all been like oxen and stuff.
What deal did you have to make with this mighty steed for you to ride him so?
What deal? Well,
what agreement?
I feed him and I brush him, and I reckon we're great pals by now. I've known him most of my life.
So you've spilled much blood together.
I suppose so. When we were training with my brother since we were both very young.
And you killed your brother together. That is where this bond comes from.
No, that didn't happen. I think my brothers should be alive and well.
Where are your brothers hail from? Are they also hill people?
Oh, we're from the Havens, a wee bit close to the deep wilds, you know. It's a lot of flat land. There's a lot of horses around there.
I've spent my entire life fighting beasts. To see union with man and beast, it is new for me.
Maybe instead of fighting, y'all could be friends.
I want to exchange a really intimate look with Stan really quick. And then I want to very quickly turn away. And I go, I don't know if I can do that. And then I want to walk on.
Stan kind of like and like trots alongside. And Cleo goes back to like, well, maybe someday we'll take you we'll take you to where we're from, and maybe you can make some friends with the other horses, and maybe you can get your own horse.
I shed another tear. That sounds good. It sounds really good.
I think that you'd be quite a magnificent rider, if I do say so myself.
4 more tears. 4 more.
Is that a flirt?
Cleo is so friendly.
With the horse?
Save a horse, ride a
Oh
cowgirl.
God.
Sorry,
I don't know
I'm
if Durgan understands like romance and intimacy.
I don't think Cleo understands either. Cleo only knows horses.
Horses have romance. Whatever. Sorry. Nope. Nope. Sorry. Nope. I'm immediately aborting. Nope.
Haven't you seen Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron?
No. And now I don't want to. I'm good.
Horses
I've
have
seen My Little
romance.
Pony DeviantArt, and horses do have
That's
romance.
true.
They do.
I mean, maybe if Durgan learns about romance and intimacy sometime down the road, he'll
Oh my
try
God,
that
does-
skill. But I
Can
think
Durgan learn romance through horses?
I think I like this idea, but I think this is down the line.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
I think I
was
gotta
just
u- I
making it
get-
funny.
I think horses need to teach me to warm my heart and to let people in. Like, I definitely think that's going to be an arc. But right now, I think honestly think that Durgan sees Cleo as like an equal and like a respectful hunter, and maybe one that's like probably the best one that I've seen since my dad.
Beastmaster
Like-
Cleo.
That is such an honor. I don't know what I ever did to deserve that.
You fought alongside me to fight those guys.
I like that you were specific that it was 4 more tears. Count them. 4.
That's a big thing for Durgan. That's like 3 more tears than you shed last year. That's a lot.
I
My
only
dad
cried
only got
once a year
2.
each for my parents.
Yeah.
My dad only got 2, 1 from each eye.
One for each eye. He said, "Save your water."
Stop crying. You can drink that. Okay, so I'm sorry. So you're headed back with these guys, right? You're
I think,
Um,
the plan is to escort them back, catch up with our friends, and then maybe go back, as soon as possible, to continue tracking the guy?
Oh, I thought the plan was to set an ambush up for the night to see if they come back.
Oh, yeah, we can do that, yeah.
if that's the case, that you want to set an ambush, are you setting an ambush here in the forest, or are you setting an ambush at the town?
At the town, home field
Okay.
advantage.
Okay. So, I'm glad you said advantage, because I think you get back through the woods, no problem. I think you should probably roll a secure an advantage roll now while you have daylight, and set up your ambush and scout the area and figure out okay, where's a good place for me to.
Secure advantage has what stat?
When you assess the situation, make preparations or attempt to gain leverage, envision your action and roll. If you act with speed, agility, or precision, roll edge, which this is not it. Charm, loyalty, or courage, roll plus heart, which this is not. Aggressive action, forceful defense, strength, or endurance is iron. I don't think that's it. I think it's going to be either with deception, stealth, or trickery, you roll plus shadow, or expertise, insight, or observation is plus wits.
I am not good at this shit. I'm gonna play this like I think that once we get back to the town, I think Durgan understands that while this is better for us, Durgan's out of his element to prepare an ambush here. I'll tack him to the wall, man, but a thinker I am not. I'll own that. I don't have the wits of Signe or Caer.
Cleo's always looking
Okay.
for a second opinion.
My wit score is 1.
Oh, shit! Shit!
Emily is fairly smart. Caer is not.
Does anybody have wits higher than 1?
I have a 2.
No, I have 1 wit. Oh, yo.
Oh, wait,
Literally
am I
twice
the
as
only
smart as
one
all of
with
us.
the wits above 1?
All right, then I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna turn to Cleo and I'm gonna go, Cleo, trust yourself.
I mean,
Look.
you can roll shadow. You can use plus shadow. That's fine.
Oh, we
I
can
have
use
a
plus
decent
shadow.
Yeah, deception, stealth, or trickery is plus shadow.
My shadow and wits are plus 2
Ah.
also.
My shadow is 2.
Okay. I think you could use. I think that's fine. I think if you use deception, stealth, or trickery, like you're hiding and waiting to ambush this thing. It may not be from the best spot, but it will be. You won't be noticed. You know what I'm saying? Like you can still come out from. You can still go unnoticed. It just might not be like the perfect place to come from.
Look within yourself, Cleo. Look within. You've tamed this beast. You can tame this terrain.
I suppose you're right. I guess. Then I guess taking the acquired knowledge from the trip, and then I guess looking at the outside fortresses or whatever that is. We'll do.
I mean, fortress is a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, it's a big stretch.
Not really.
Well, yeah. We roll with wits and shadow. Well, they're both the same for me, so it doesn't matter. So we have a 7, and we have a 5, and we have a 5 plus 2 is 7. So that's a mixed success.
Do you get a +1 from your bond with the village?
You know, it doesn't explicitly say that. But as GM, I'm going to use some GM fiat and say, yeah, take a +1. On a strong hit, you gain advantage. Choose one. Take control. Make another move now that isn't a progress move and add +1, or prepare to act. Take +2 momentum. When you first engage at the start of your ambush, take a +1 on whatever move that is.
Okay.
And if that's going to, I think everybody's going to take a +1 on their first move if whoever's involved in the ambush. So. Okay, you're back at the village. You pick the spot. Like, all right, we're gonna hide here. I think you pick a couple spots for people to hide in.
Would we have run into them by this point?
Mm-hmm. Can we get them
Yeah,
on
we would
on this?
actively
Yes, I
find
believe-
you.
Cool. We
Yeah.
were also actively finding you, so that's great.
Cool.
Oh, fancy meeting you here. What brings you to this trench?
Oh, long time no see, Signe. I hope you're well.
Well, I'm doing great. My 2 friends, who I'm very close with, we're in the hole now, ready to fight. What's happening here? Why am I here?
It's a whole thing.
We're defending against something.
Cold Tusk.
Doubtful.
Oh,
We found him.
That's a strong maybe.
So,
A strong, maybe.
Cleo,
Yeah.
give me the quick summary. What's going on?
Yeah, okay. Well, there's some footprints and whatnot outside of the perimeter. It looks like a weird human foot, like a human foot, but more. I don't know if that like makes any lick of sense to you, but
What if person but bigger?
yeah. And then when we were like trying to track it in the woods, it looked like real tall, possibly like 10 feet or so. And so we lost the trail, but it looks like it's been coming and scratching at all these doors here and messing up all them trees.
So I want to be explicit. There's no doors on the outside of the palisade except for one.
Mm-hmm.
It was scratching like. Imagine if somebody cut down a bunch of trees, stuck them in the dirt with big points on top of them.
It's been itching his
It's
back
still-
on them points.
Yeah.
Right. What? Take me around and show me. I just have her like take me around the perimeter and look at it. You said they were randomly
yeah.
spaced.
Yeah.
They
Cleo would probably like, yeah, hop on, and like, he'll take you on stand and give you a quick trot around the perimeter.
As they ride off, I look at Cleo and Stan, and I lean to Durgan and I go, "They really are different things."
Don't be so sure.
Erik is just like, I'm with two idiots on the inside. That's his face.
I love Signe. I just say.
They really are. How tall is the palisade?
Probably like 6 or 8 feet.
Oh, so
Is that fair?
So, question: were the damage in the trees on the branches, was that taller?
I think I lied. I think I said it was. I'm gonna change my mind and say no. It was probably like
The same
the height of the
size.
palisade. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Then that's fine.
Because I didn't think about like okay, if it's scratching on the palisades, how tall are the palisades? And then in the woods, I think I said it was taller than what I was imagining. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm
What?
retconning that.
That's okay.
breed is Stan?
Breedable.
That's submissive. How many hands high?
He's not like a draft or anything. Like he's a regular,
Okay.
like standard sized
So
horse.
I wouldn't be able to see over the palisade sitting on his back.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But,
As
like,
we,
if I had my spear, I could probably, like, if I pointed my spear, I could probably reach.
yeah. Nice. I am going to, on like clock positions, make a note of where all the scratches are as we ride around. And when we get back, I'm going to do a walk around of the inside of the perimeter and see what houses and stuff are where those scratches are.
Oh, I knew asking you would be the right choice. You're so smart.
Can I have a gather information roll? please?
Absolutely. See, this is what
Okay.
sucks is that her wit score is low, but I feel that it's like she's not dumb. She just hasn't experienced a lot.
Yeah. No. So you're gonna take another +1 because you're in a community that you share a bond.
I don't have a
no,
bond
you
with them.
don't. You do not.
I
You're
do
right.
not. And I don't share a bond with Cleo. I share a bond with Durgan. So
As I show up, hey, what's up?
that is a weak hit.
The information complicates your quest or introduces a new danger. Envision what you discover and take +1 momentum. All I'm going to say is that the markings do line up pretty directly with locations of houses near the palisade, but it's not clear to you why it's those locations.
I'm going to knock on the door of one of these houses.
Some guy answers the door.
Hi, sorry. I'm just looking for. I seem to have lost one of my belongings, and I cannot place it. It's a bag. It should have like some bread and some things. It's kind of, there wasn't anything really particularly descriptive in it, but it was like a canvas bag. Have you seen it? It was somewhere around this area.
You hear a baby crying in the background, and you hear a woman yell, "Who is it?" And he asks your name.
It's Caer.
He gives you like a look for a second, and he goes, "Oh, it's one of them outsiders."
Right. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but I don't have what you're looking for, and I don't know where it would be.
All right. Thank you. Do I recognize him as one of the people who normally goes when the horn sounds?
I don't know. 50-50 chance. What do we got? I'm
Okay.
gonna roll a /roll D2. Yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time. So
I'm
sorry.
gonna say it's probably about 3 or 4 o'clock. It's gonna be dark soon.
Okay. I'm gonna go to the next house, and I'm going to do the same thing. The next house that corresponds with a spot.
Okay, it's another couple.
Another couple.
No kid.
No kid. Do I also recognize either of them from going to the...
No, these two you don't recognize.
Do I get a glimpse of the interior at either of these houses?
Yeah, they're along the same lines as what you saw in Hagen's house. It's all very basic furniture, all very like rudimentarily furnished. It's nothing fancy. There's like a circle in the middle for like building a fire and cooking and stuff.
Is there like iron pots and stuff on the...
Yeah, yep.
All right, I go to the next marked house and I do the same thing.
Actually, this is not another couple. This is just a lady lives there, a young lady.
Same thing on the inside of the house. Pots, pans, furniture.
Yep. Pretty same basic setup.
Right.
Obviously, like the stuff might be rearranged depending on the house, but it's all relatively the same. As far as like, all right, it's not nobody's got anything very, very much fancier than anybody else.
I'm so sorry to bother you. I leave. I go to a house that is not marked next, and I do the same thing.
Some guy answers the door.
Right, so sorry to bother you. Blah 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 blah. Is the inside of his house look any different from the others?
No, maybe a smaller bed.
Okay.
Caer, can I have a quick question?
Yeah, what's up?
So, what are you looking for exactly? Did you really lose your bag?
No, I've never owned a canvas bag in my life. I'm looking for a connection. But I can't seem. They're all different ages, family makeups. The houses are the same no matter who lives where. The three that we went to had women in them. That's all that I got. But that's not necessarily...
What about... Okay, so stuff. Clothes, does that count as stuff? Maybe hair color? Maybe... I don't know, were they looking different?
Was there anything specific about the appearance of the people whose houses were marked?
No, I think you didn't see the woman in the first house. You saw the man. He's some white guy. In the second house, I think it was a dark-skinned guy with like an Asian woman. And in the third one was some like white brunette lady.
It was me.
Yeah, Emily was, yeah.
So the only common thing right now is that they're just some ladies in them houses?
Just some ladies in them houses.
There's some whores in this house.
That's not necessarily like that's a decent
They're
percentage of
whore-forged.
I'm not gonna. That's like a decent percentage of the population.
That's
How
at least
many-
half.
How many marks were there? Range wise.
Probably like 15 or 20
Okay, cool.
around the entire perimeter.
That's too many houses to canvas before nightfall.
Yeah, no, it's almost nightfall. Like the sun is starting to set. You are pressed for time.
Cleo, do you remember where the marks on the other side of the village were?
I do, with your handy dandy little map that you were drawn.
Perfect. I'll take the eastern half, you take the western half. Each house, mark an X behind. I just want to keep a record of where each one is.
Okay, that's fancy. Should we be telling the others about these marked houses? Because I know that Durgan knows that there were some scritchy scratches outside, but I don't think that he was aware of the houses correspondence.
I don't know if we have time. Let them know on your way. And I take off and start marking the houses from the eastern side, like on my half of the village. Just like at each house, going like behind them, taking my foot and just marking a big X in the dirt and then running on.
Cleo
As you do so, a mist a fog begin to settle over the town as the sun is set. It's setting. It's like set by the time that you're done. People have like gone home. You don't see anybody in the streets. And I think when you get these all marked, what do you do like for the like following like hour after you've like marked after the sun is set?
How close are the houses
To the palisade or to each other?
to each other?
15 feet on average. Some might be farther, some might be closer.
Shit. Okay. I climb on top of one of the houses, attempting to do so stealthily. The houses that are marked, are they closer to the palisade than the others?
Yes.
Shit.
I think you hear. What's anybody else doing in this hour?
Cleo's trying to figure out how to prepare for an ambush.
Yeah, you have the locations for where you're gonna hide, and you found spots for anybody else who wants to help. So you and Durgan have a place, and I think you found like a couple other spots where like potentially Signe or Caer and Erik can hide.
Then
If Erik's involved. If Erik's not involved, he's gonna hang out in town.
presuming I was on horseback doing the other stuff, I feel like within the time I probably would have caught the other guys up to like the X's marking the spots.
Okay. I think so. About an hour after sunset, and this fog has rolled in. It's not heavy at first, but like over the course of an hour, it gets like progressively heavier. I think Cleo, if you're on somebody's roof, like you're above
Caer?
it. Caer, I'm sorry, yes, Caer, you're above it. Cleo is like just under. I think you can see Cleo going through the houses. Like you just see the top of her head as she's riding around on stand.
You can see the little
you don't
tip
see
of my
anybody else
spear,
doing
like
Little
a
spear.
barrel.
Yeah. You might see like little glows of like fires around, torches maybe. And the moonlight, you can see the moonlight coming down into the clearing that is the vicinity of the circle. You hear in the distance like a howl, and then you start to hear like something hitting trees. Like you hear like sticks on trees.
I'm gonna roll a d6, and odds is one decision, evens is another. Odds is the more dangerous side of the decision. I knock on the door of the church.
Okay. So I don't think there's not an established like church here. There is a Endra is staying at like some lodging that's been made available for him.
Mm-hmm.
He performs like the ceremonies and stuff in the center of town at the marker in the center of town. He answers, and he doesn't have his mask on. Is
he here?
His hood is down. Well, kinda. He's a bit of an older fellow, but he's handsome looking enough.
Oh, we love his ad.
Better looking than me. His hood's down. He does have his cloak and all of his stuff on. You don't hear the jangling in his raiment because he's taking all of his like stuff out of his pockets and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he answers the door, and he's with a gentle but deep voice. He's like, "Hello. What can I do for you?"
Quick question. Is there like a meeting house that the service is normally held at? Like that's like, where like big meetings happen, but also this is where we have church, and this is where we have like.
If you would like it to be, yes, there is.
Okay. Hi. Not a lot of time to explain. The people trust you for the most part. I need you to get everyone into the meeting house.
Can I have a little more context before I cause a panic?
Scary thing coming. Houses that are closer to the palisade are in more danger, and I run.
I think when you run away, it's about 60 seconds. You hear the bellowing of that iron horn from the center of town. And people like get up and come out of their houses.
I think instinctually, and this is just a random, later we'll workshop it, but we'll say it's this for now. Instinctually, before I leave, I just say like, how like the peace be with you. It's like, may iron strengthen you, and I run.
Yeah. Okay. After you hear the horn blow, you hear like a weird, perverse echo of it come from the forest. You hear like an imitation of it come from the woods. It's not. I want to be clear. It's not another iron horn. It sounds like something else making the iron horn noise.
Hate it. I run to the first house that we went to that had the child in it, and I post up on top of that one, and I'm looking to see if they leave.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Cool.
They leave and they go towards center town.
And that's the house I'm posted on top of.
Okay, as GM, I'm gonna say if y'all are like gonna put an ambush up, now's the time. I think you would have enough context clues as characters to be like, oh shit, like maybe now it's time to get in position if it wasn't like half an hour ago.
I want to get in position.
Signe, are you also gonna?
Yeah, what are we ambushing?
You don't
That's the
know?
thing we don't know.
And do we know what direction it's coming from?
I point towards the direction.
Yeah, you heard the noise. You generally have an idea what direction it's gonna come from. They're given the footprints and the markings on the trees and stuff. It seemed like okay, we know. It was generally a straight line. It wasn't a beeline, but it was like, a general like okay, it came from this direction.
Yes. Is there like iron wire in the town?
Wire, I don't know about wire. Wire's hard to produce. Wire is like a manufactured thing. Like it's hard to make wire.
What about rope?
Could we use like rope to at least tie some sort of like tripline areas near trees?
Yes.
Is it possible to put him in the trenches and like pull it taut when we see him come through?
What is the intent for the ropes?
I think just a full horizontal kind of tripwire, just because I don't think we know enough about the dimensions of whatever's coming through to do like a hanging rope.
Yeah, you can set up a rope real quick to try to trip it up somewhere. Are you gonna do it like at the forest line? Are you gonna like take something and try to like put stakes in the ground somewhere and try to catch it?
Great question.
I vote tree line.
Tree line sounds great.
Yeah, if you can run into you can grab some rope, run into the tree lines, and estimate like, all right, it's gonna be about here. Like Durgan, because you looked at the footprints and figured what the stride was, you can be like, all right, this is probably about like how high it's gonna step. If like walking this far, the legs are gonna be this high, blah 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 blah, and you can quickly tie up like a trip line. And then it's time to get into position because you can hear something moving through the forest. Getting closer.
I run to position.
I'm gonna say are you guys posted up like in the ditch around the town, or are you like hiding in the woods?
I'm going back to my home in the tree.
Are you in the trees? Durgan and Signe both in the trees?
Fuck it, I'll get in the trees.
Or are you gonna hide out in the ditch near the?
I get to choose. I get to choose how.
Yeah, tell me
choose
how
how
you're
I-
hidden.
Okay, I'm levitating 5 feet above the ground. I turn invisible, and my hands
And I'm
begin
from
to
planet
glow
Earth.
as lightning crackles. I'm
While he
half
levitates,
angel,
I'm
half
climbing the
demon.
tree.
Also, I'm from Earth.
Very hidden. I have to cut that now.
Just saying I'm from Earth is fine.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
So, okay. What's Cleo doing?
Cleo probably took a quick ride around the perimeter to make sure
Okay.
that everything is at least like close.
Around the perimeter of like the clearing of the forest, or around the perimeter of the town?
The town.
or-
Like on the
Okay,
inside
yeah,
of the
okay.
palisade.
Yeah,
on the,
it all
probably
seems-
on the inside and the outside, depending on like how big it is. But like
I think
you can ride quick.
Yeah, I think if people see you like riding around the inside of the palisade wall, they're gonna be like kind of nervous. Like, why the fuck?
Oh yeah, that's
Like, what's that
that's probably
noise?
not like a great move. But at least like definitely the outside.
When you're all set up, you hear this noise, these like the sounds of branches breaking, the sound of like large tree limbs getting struck against trees. You hear like a low like hooting almost, like a hoo 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 hoo, like coming through the woods.
Like a gorilla.
And you see, lit by the moon that is making it through the canopy, about
It's the beast titan.
7 or 8 feet tall, is
Oh,
a
no.
a large creature.
Inside us, and 90% here.
It looks as if it looks like it's been silvered on the top of it, like it's because it's moonlight, because it's lit by the moon, it's all black and white with like it's like kind of glittering silver on top. And what you see is first this broad, like flat head, and coming off the side of the head are these very like wide antlers, like are they like moose antlers? Let me see what does a moose antler look like?
They're like wide.
They're wide as fuck.
Yeah, kind of like it looks like moose antlers. Like they're projected,
Moose
like they don't come out, they don't come forward very far, but they spread out very, very wide and curl up.
Are they made out of like regular antler material?
It looks like regular antler material. As it comes through, you can see it rocking its head back and forth and like catching on branches and breaking them off. You can see it stops every once in a while and like rubs its head on the trees and like scratches them up.
Let me guess, limbs too long.
It's like when it's walking, it looks like it's like a flat plane. It's planar from like the nose back between the horns across like to its shoulders, and then it curves down. And it's got like a wide, like it's like thin vertically. It's like a very wide flat head, a very broad mouth. You see like tiny little like teeth poking up and down. It's got these tiny, tiny, tiny little eyes that are glinting in the moonlight.
Of course they are.
And it's got these very broad, large shoulders, large arms that are like grabbing trees as it walks by and like moving branches out of the way. And it's walking on these like proportionately they're short, but they're still very long, like very thick legs with these very, very large feet that are with like the toes are like I said, this is the thing that made those footprints, where the big toe is sort of spaced farther apart from the rest of the toes, and it's coming through the woods and it's making like these weird like noises. As it gets closer, they get louder and they get like faster, and it sort of lets out like a whoop. And when it reaches the tree line where you guys put the rope up, it stops and it sniffs, and it lets out another howl, and it goes to take a step and it catches, and it kind of like stumbles over the rope and like falls down to all four limbs. And
as it falls down, I just jump out of the tree, two hands on the warhammer, just going down on this thing, letting gravity help us with this first blow.
Ooh.
Thank you for listening to Dice Age Ironsworn. If you like what you heard here, please consider following and rating the show on your podcast app of choice. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, and even Amazon Music/Audible. You can follow the show on Twitter at Dice Age Podcast, all one word, and give us feedback there as well. The Dice Age Ironsworn theme is produced by Miles Blackwood, who you can find at blackwood.io.